What can be something and not something? It would be a symbol or an image or representation of that thing. When you look into a mirror and you see your reflection, are you looking at yourself? Who are you looking at? You're looking at yourself, but you're not looking at yourself. Words are symbols. When I say bread, I'm referring to bread, but bread is not bread. It's a representation, a symbol, a reflection of bread. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The Word would be the reflection, representation of God. It's with God, but it's not God, but it is God. The Word was with God from the beginning. Through the Word, all things are made. People have different concepts of God, or whether or not there is a God or what God is. There's a scripture in the Bible that says where 2 or 3 are gathered in His name, there I am in the midst. There is another scripture that says that when Jesus returns to the earth, that it won't be like you can see Him out there coming to the earth, but that it will be like lightning that flashes through the sky. An object is an object because there's an exchange of information happening like lightning. And that exchange of information, what's in between, the space in between, that's where God is. But it says where they're gathered in His name. So I read this study on epiphanies, and something happens in your brain when you are having like a conversation with someone. And there's a difference between like if you're talking at someone and they're not really paying attention, they're not really getting it, they're not contributing to the conversation, than if you're talking with someone and their idea connects to your idea and it builds up another idea and you have these epiphanies, right? Well, the brain waves, they line up, so the peaks of the waves of the brain, they are arching at the same time, causing the peak of the wave to go higher. That is what's happening when you have an epiphany. So when 2 or 3 people are gathered in the name of God, 2 or 3 people are agreeing on something and having epiphany type of functions in their brain, causing these peaks. I read this study where they had a small group of people meditating. When you're meditating or agreeing or having epiphanies together, you can cause things to happen, which there's been many studies on meditators causing a change in reality. Well, this one group of meditators, they saw this structure appear in front of them in the center of the circle. And that is because these peaks, these epiphanies, they cause an exchange between you and the information out there to happen. This is what causes particles to form physical objects. The objects are always there so long as the understanding or the epiphany, the ability for the object was always there in nothingness. That nothingness is the potential. It's particles in superposition waiting to be something that are not something yet. They become something when there is this exchange, this lightning exchange, actually what some may refer to as God, because it is the agreement for something to exist. God doesn't exist without the reflection because God is undefinable, so He needs the reflection to define God. And so you as the witness, not as the physical being, but as the witness of the physical being, are God. The physical being is the reflection. I'm sure that you've heard the saying to know thyself. Know thyself would basically be God, or the witness, coming to know itself as God, the process. So the reflection existed from the beginning with God, the witness of its own reflection. So imagine yourself standing in a room of mirrors. The mirrors all reflect off of you. This is how reality is. The images in the mirrors repeat themselves all around you. What you look at in reality is a mirror image of the self that you are reflecting into the mirror. Watch what happens. Therefore, when objects, people, animals, experiences, life itself lack meaning, you lose the life-giving connection. You lose that electrical charge. And that which was once something becomes nothing. It dies, it decays. And the emptiness in the world is a direct reflection of the emptiness within you. And that emptiness wants to consume everything in its path. It's a black hole.
The nothing is destroying our world. But there just might be one chance.
Watch what happens when we zoom in on a flaw. Look at them missing teeth and that big old fucking nose. Now, as I look out into reality, all I see is these missing teeth and that big old fucking nose everywhere. What happens if I zoom out or try and run away from it? I just get more of them. They get bigger. Now I'm scared. I better protect myself from it with safety features, like seatbelts and censorship. Because if I don't, all my teeth could fall out. The more I try and protect myself from my fears, multiply all around me. Because I'm now the fearful one, reflecting fear into the mirror. I can back up, I can try and run away, but nothing is going to remove that fear from the mirror.
What is this place? Who are you? We're just like you. Lost.
Here. I used an obvious example of my teeth. But what about that thief or that liar? That murderer? All of those people that are doing the evil, rotten things and narcissists that you are looking at in your mirror. If you knew that what you were looking at was a reflection of your own self, you probably would not want to be looking at the thief, the liar, the murderer, the missing teeth, the big nose. So what do? You've got to give it a new meaning. Without meaning, symbols do not exist. You do not exist without meaning. A symbol of you does not exist without meaning. The darkness wants to consume the light because it has none. But you light up the dark by giving it meaning.
Dan, that he's the one who has the power to stop it. He simply can't imagine that one little boy could be that important. Is it really me? Maybe he doesn't know what he has to do! What do I have to do? He has to give me a new name. He's already chosen it. He just has to call it out. But it's only a story. It's not real. It's only a story. Bastian. Why don't you do what you dream, Bastian? But I can't! I have to keep my feet on the ground! Call my name!
So in the never-ending story, when she says, say my name, give me a name, he's asked to define her. By defining her, he causes her to be real, to exist. Because without the definition, she's just potential, imagination, not yet real. So the mistake that we make is we look out at what we perceive and we think that is telling us what's real. But what's happening is that we are saying that's real, and that's why it is. We are the ones perfecting reality. In the Bible, it says that like if something causes you to sin, so like your eye or your arm, to cut it off. In other words, it's like the connection that's making it real, your perception that's making it real, needs to cut off that reality. And you do that by giving it a different meaning. You can't get rid of it. If you keep the definition of it the same, it will burn in hell. It will face like this fiery destruction, which is painful to a person. So if you keep that definition of that thing in your mind as like, that is what that is, this evil, rotten thing, like that definition has to be burned out of you. But it's much easier for you to go on your own and let your ego die. Find a better definition. Find how you're misunderstanding what you're seeing. Find how you have a log in your eye and take that log out, even if it hurts to pull it out.
Bastian! Please! Save us! All right! I'll do it! I'll save you! I will do what I can!
Him who overcomes, I will give some of the hidden manna to eat, and I will give him a white stone, and on the stone a new name written, which no one knows, except him who receives it.
If you see something in your image, give it a new meaning and watch the image change. And it's not just you being like, I decided that that person didn't steal from me, but you still feel like you were stolen from. That's not how you give something meaning. The way that you give something meaning is you wonder what the different meaning is by feeling different about it and wondering how it is helping you, how it is beneficial to you, how all things are for your good, how when you're painting on a canvas, every flaw makes up the painting. I have no idea if you guys can see this, but I'm literally watching my image change in the video while I'm recording. I mean, like, my jaw keeps going bigger and smaller. I'm just gonna record and rewatch it, but whoa, did you see that? I'm literally recording my video, my new video that I'm gonna put out on how you can change the image of reality, and my image is morphing in my camera.
They come every night. They watch us until the sun rises again. It's a window on the other side.
Without the reflection, the representation, the word, the symbol, there is nothing. In the word, the reflection is life, and that life is the light of men. Without the light of men, there is no representation of God. The light shines in the darkness.